Hello, everyone. I'm very happy today because we were able to invite Romina Tomas. She's a certified life and business coach, and she has helped a lot of people around the world achieve their dreams and reach their goals. So thank you so much, Romina, for being with us today and be part of this series of masterclasses.
Thank you to you, Diana. Thanks for the invitation. I'm so excited and happy to be here.
Thank you, Romina. Before we enter into this discussion, I just wanted to explain a little bit why I invited you to these masterclasses. Us as immigrants, when we move to another country, we have to actually restart or reset our lives. We have so many things to focus on that sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. And instead of really focusing on what passionates our lives, we start moving towards, I don't know, thinking on the things that we need to do immediately at that moment, instead of the things that we really appreciate in our lives and we really enjoy doing, and those things that are going to bring us energy and passion. So I believe being an immigrant is a very nice excuse and opportunity for us to reinvent ourselves, to try to do other things in our lives and to bring other flavors to our experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So the topic of today's masterclass is unlock your passion, and how to find your passion and how to develop yourself through this emotion, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you please tell us a bit more about yourself as a certified coach and about the topic that we're going to talk about today?
Sure. I mean, I totally agree with you. As immigrants, we have to face so many challenges and new challenges that we haven't faced before because we are, migrating to a new country. But with those challenges, we can discover new opportunities and new ways and new things about ourselves that we didn't know before. So in my case, I'm an immigrant. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I've been living in Los Angeles for 24 years. My passion is to help others achieve their goals and reach for their dreams. It's to discover their passion so they can work on their goals day after day and achieve and get the results that they're looking for, whether it is to move to a new country, apply for a visa, find a new job, rent an apartment, build their own business, whatever dream they have, both personally and professionally. I'm kind of like their accountability partner, that I'm there with them week after week, like a cheerleader. Hey, you can do it, it's possible, let's create a plan to make it happen. That's basically what I do, and my passion, and what I love and enjoy doing every day, all day.
Which is something that we really need in our lives, because I remember when I arrived here to Canada, I was actually like sometimes achieving some things, and I didn't have someone to tell to. Like, of course, I was able to talk to my family, etc., but like, a friend here to be like, to hold myself accountable to. And I believe that the work that you're doing right now, helping other people achieving their goals and having a better and organized life, I believe that's a very big help.
Thank you, Diana. Friends or family are great. They're our support system, but sometimes in order to make things happen, you need a bit more than just a friend or a family member there. You need somebody who believes in you, the person that you can trust, and somebody who will be, pushing you to become the best version of yourself. And sometimes friends and family, because they don't want to hurt our feelings or tell us things that we don't want to hear, they're just going like, yeah, it's fine, it's beautiful, it's great. And sometimes we know that it's not great. So it's having that, second set of eyes helping you and looking at your goals and helping you to, make sense of all of the things that you want to accomplish and to help you create that master plan that would actually yield results. If there is anything that I want to tell everybody, is that anything is possible. Whatever you want to achieve in life is absolutely possible. You just need a little bit of organization, planning, and clarity of knowing what it is that you want to go.
That's so important, because it's not something that you're going to find, I don't know, maybe in a book or something. It's just actually something that you have to exercise. It's a muscle that you have to exercise every day so you can evolve and develop it day after day with a kind of one exercise here and there, one action, I believe you're going to be able to explain better than me in this masterclass. But talking about passion has always been something very like idealistic. People think that passion is something that it, like, lifts you up and you have to feel like a hero somehow. And sometimes I don't believe passion is that. So how can we find our passion? How can we unlock it? How can we discover what we are good for?
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 simple ways for you to unlock and discover your passion. These are 3 things that you can start doing right now, and it will help you open up your perception of the things that you are currently looking at, and to help you discover yourself in a different way. These are easy things that you can do right now, and I'm going to start sharing with you shortly, so let's start talking about the first one. The first thing that you can start doing right now in order to unlock and start discovering your passion, if you haven't discovered that yet, is to changing your mindset, to start thinking in a more positive way. And you may be saying, well, yeah, that's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer, but a lot of us, we have so many thoughts a day and we don't take the time to become aware of our thoughts. So it's not only about starting to think in a more positive way, first is to become aware of the thoughts that we're having, because once we become aware, then we can make a change. If we don't know what we're thinking because you're just going, you cannot make a change. So the first thing that you can do is to become aware of your thoughts. And if your first thought when it comes to anything in your life is, oh, this is not going to happen, it's too difficult, what's the point? And you start second guessing yourself and you start creating a lot of negative scenarios, because if there is something that we all have as humans, is the creativity to create all negative scenarios possible in a situation, instead of creating all the positive scenarios in a situation. So if your first thought that comes to mind is kind of like negative or not so positive, then once you become aware of that, you can say to yourself, well, you know what, why am I thinking this way? Why don't I think that it's a better possibility? Why don't I think of a more positive scenario? Because you have the power of changing your thought. Nobody's going inside your head and telling you what to think. You are thinking what you want to think. So at least in my opinion and in my case, if I have to choose between thinking negatively and thinking positively, well, I'm going to think positively. What's the point of creating negativity? So the first thing that you can do is to start changing your mindset, becoming aware of your thoughts, and start thinking more positively. Why? Because that opens the door to opportunity and to possibilities. So if you don't want to think that positively, at least think in a maybe. If you think like no, like, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen and it's going to be terrible, then you don't leave room for any opportunities. Well, if you think, okay, maybe this could happen, but this could also happen, then you're leaving the door to opportunities and possibilities, and at least you allow yourself to think that there is a different way of doing things and not just that negative way. What do you think?
No, I was just thinking about this very huge key that you just gave us, because positive thinking is not about, we are the world, we are all together, let's world peace, etc., etc. It's not about that. It's actually, again, exercising your muscle and bringing better energy to your thoughts, so you can actually be more conscious about the opportunities that are crossing your path. Because sometimes we are so deep in all the responsibilities that we have, all the frustrations, all the lack of affection or lack of things that we are having in that moment when we decided to move to another country, or that we are missing at this moment.
Yeah,
we are already integrated into a new society, but sometimes, I don't know, things happen that make us feel uncertain and sad and lonely, etc., that we just focus on that, and instead of, I don't know, an opportunity, the best opportunity of your life might be crossing just in front of you in that same street, and instead of grabbing it, you let it go because you were actually focusing your energy and your thoughts in that other negative thing.
Absolutely. And that's exactly, for example, as an immigrant, your first thought is, oh, I'm going to leave my home, my friends and family, and it's going to be hard. And yes, I am not saying that it's not going to be difficult. What I'm saying is for you to focus on the positive of the experience. Why don't you think my friends or family are always going to be there? I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to create maybe a new family of friends and people and support system in another part of the world. And those people are going to be there for me as I'm going to be there for them. So it's all about creating the opportunities within the possibilities that are there in that new situation. When we let fear into the game, we lose, because fear is there like a roadblock to stop you from doing the things that you enjoy, because it shows up to stop you. It's like when you think about fear, is like a brick wall in front of you that doesn't allow you to move forward. So do not let fear into the game here, because fear is just not going to help you move forward, or at least it's going to stop you from moving forward more quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Something that I tell to my clients, for example, when we are working into this kind of transition, is that fear actually can be of big help. It can make us more alert on what's coming. It can make us move faster. It can make us react to something instead of actually the things that you're saying. Like, it can stop you as well. It can block you. It can paralyze you. So actually using the fear on your favor can develop other better things.
If you use fear as like an adrenaline injection, that's awesome. That's perfect. But if you dwell on fear, forever, then that's not good. So if you have that little fear inside of you and you're like, okay, what can I do to, get rid of this? And you use it as a push to get more things done, awesome. But do not stay on it for a long time.
So we talked about changing the mindset and positive thinking, etc., etc. I understand that sometimes it's very easy to say so, and to say, oh yeah, don't worry, change your mindset, think positive. Do you know any kind of strategy that we can develop, like at least one little bit of thing that we can start doing today and start like trying to evolve and to modify this kind of change from negative to positive?
Yeah, absolutely. There is one thing that you can do, and everybody does it, and it's not rocket science, is to journal. Once you journal, you realize if you have a pattern of negative thinking, then you can become aware of your thoughts and make a change. Like I said before, if you don't realize that you're thinking in a negative way because you're always thinking like that, then you cannot see the pattern and make a change. So by journaling, and by journaling, I don't mean writing a book. It's like bullet points at the end of the day, like how your date went, if you have any fears, or if you have any meanings or anything that happened during that day, and to see how you are, what kind of patterns show up on your writing on a daily basis. So maybe you write Monday through Sunday, and every Sunday night you take a look at your notes and you see if there is a negative pattern showing up. That way you can say, hey, I've been thinking a lot about this and this is not good, so I'm going to make a conscious change of changing that thought into something more positive.
So once I identified that negative thought, let's say, for example, I recently arrived to another country and I've been looking for a job for several months, which is something that happens very often, right?
Absolutely.
So sometimes you come and maybe you came from a very nice position, management position from your old country, then you integrate to the new one and you start seeing that everything changes. And when you go and face an interview, they say, oh yeah, your experience is very interesting, but no, thank you, no? And then you start losing your self-confidence, and then you start developing these negative thoughts. So after I discovered them, your journaling, for example, which is the thing that you suggested, what can I do? I already know that I've been complaining a lot about not getting a job. I've already seen that I'm repeating myself every time that I journal, that I am not good enough for these kind of projects. So what's next?
what's next is exactly to take that phrase, I'm not good enough to take this job, or I'm not good enough for this particular position. And sorry guys, my knee was itching. I'm human, okay? So what you do is you have to rewrite that negative phrase into a more positive version of the same phrase. So if you say I'm not good enough for this, say I'm good enough for these things, or I may not be good enough today to do this, but I can always learn a new trade to become better at this. You know what I mean? So it's always trying to find the opportunity and the positivity in the phrase. So it's paraphrasing and rewriting that negative thought into a more positive one.
Another thing that I would like to add to it is that once you did all that process on changing your thoughts and saying I'm good enough for this instead of I'm not good enough for that, then also having someone to tell all the things that you've been facing. Because sometimes when we face every challenge by ourselves,
yeah,
it becomes more complicated than it seems. Always have someone to give us some feedback might be useful.
Yeah, because we might get entangled in our own head with our own thoughts, so we don't know what's true or what's not anymore. So of course it's always good to maybe talk to a friend or to someone to just get the feedback, but it's also very important to connect with yourself. And as much as your friends can give you advice, you know what's good for you and you know what you're capable of. So always, reach out to a friend, but also reach out to yourself, because you have the answers, the true answers of who you are and what you can do. And one of the steps that you can take is to start believing in yourself, like you can do anything you want to do. If you don't have the skills to do something and you really want to get the job that requires those skills, then go ahead and learn them. There is a possibility for you to just go take a class or do whatever it is that you need to do. If you need to learn a new language, because if you're in a new country, it's okay. You have to take it one day at a time. Don't take it so drastically that you will think this is going to be impossible. It will never happen. It will happen. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, start changing your thoughts, do the journaling, do the rewriting of the negative messages, and start feeding yourself positive messages. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, I cannot do this, tell yourself, you know what? You will learn how to do this. You are good enough. You might not know it today, but you will. Believe in yourself, trust yourself, start feeding yourself those positive messages as opposed to the negative ones.
Being more patient with yourself can give you more than pushing yourself to something that you don't even know how to do in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to point number 2, what to do in that moment. And that's exactly point number 2 on how to discover and unlock your passion, is to do more of the things that make you happy, to do more things that make you feel fulfilled in life. Now, this could be tricky because you might not know what makes you happy. I talk to a lot of people, and really a lot of people don't know that because they haven't taken the time to sit down and smell the roses. What is it that I like to do? What is it that I enjoy doing? I have no clue, because they've been so immersed in working or taking care of their house or their families, or filling out all the procedures that they need to do in order to move to a new country, that they haven't really taken the time to think, okay, what is it that I like to do? What is it that I enjoy doing? So another thing that you can do is to start trying new things, is to sit down, and the journaling can help you to do that. And make a list of things that, if you haven't tried yet, maybe to try. Make a list of things that you think you may like. And you can start with the really basic things, like, okay, ask yourself, am I an outdoor person or like an indoor person? Do I like sports, or I'm a more creative person? Like basic things that, I think about your childhood. What are the things that you used to enjoy that you don't do anymore? Is it painting, music, dancing, going to the gym? They don't have to be necessarily like expensive activities. It could be like listening to music or to a podcast or watching a movie, enjoying a glass of wine, whatever it is that makes you happy, and whatever activity that you do that connects with your feelings. That's very important. the way to unlock our passion is to connect things with our feelings. How do I feel when I do this? Like in my case, how do I feel when I'm coaching somebody, when I'm giving somebody that boost of confidence that they might not have at that moment? I feel great, because again, it's not up to me to change people. I'm just like a facilitator. I'm just giving people the tools so they can do the things on their own. It's not like therapy that you might be, in therapy for 20 years. Coaching is very much results oriented. So I'm giving people a tool belt, so they can use those tools whenever they want to, and they can even share it with other people. So when you think that they make you happy, you are connecting with your feelings. And when you feel something inside of you, that's it. That's the key. Nobody can tell you how to feel when you do something, because you're you and you're experiencing that situation. So start doing more things that make you feel happy and fulfilled. And if you don't know what those things are, start with the basics. Ask yourself, what is it that you may enjoy doing? Enroll in a class, or listen to music, go to a dance class, or start doing like basic things like hiking or running, or going to coffee with a friend, whatever it is, and start discovering those things. Because usually when you do those activities, you start discovering things about yourself that you may have not known by then, and then that's the key to unlocking your mission in life, why you're here, and your purpose.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying about like doing happy things or things that makes us happy. But at the same time, a little question popped in my mind, like, okay, but if I loved going dancing, for example, and now in my new country, they don't like to dance, or the music that they dance, I don't like it. So the other key that you gave is try new things. And this is the best opportunity for you to discover other things that you will enjoy doing that you didn't know that you enjoy.
Exactly.
So for example, when myself, I moved to a very, very cold place. There's a very big difference in weather from my country to Canada. And sometimes some things that I've tried doing is doing a lot of activities outside in winter, which was impossible to do while I was living in Mexico. Exactly. So this is the best opportunity to actually develop other interests and participate in other activities and meet other people.
And also discover a passion that you may not know you had, because obviously there's no snow in Mexico City, so you couldn't know if you enjoy skiing because you haven't had the opportunity to do it. So that's exactly what it is. And especially when you're an immigrant, there are so many opportunities for you to really discover your passion and to try new things. And if the music that you listen to, I mean, now everything is available everywhere, but again, you can just try so many new things that you didn't even know existed, because when you're in your own country, you're in your own world. And when you move to a different country, you're just not in that different country. You're like a citizen of the world. You become more cosmopolitan, because you're going to start connecting with people from other cultures, not just the culture of the country you're moving into. Like, for example, Los Angeles is a very cosmopolitan city. So even though I connect with people from my country, from Argentina, or from the US. I connect with people from all over the world, from Mexico, from South America, from Central America, from Europe, from all over the place, from Asia. So you learn so much about different cultures, and then you realize that, you can always learn new things. We'll never stop learning. It's like, it's such an amazing opportunity that you can always grow and continue learning. And one other thing that I think it's important for me to point out is to understand that happiness is not something you want to get to. It's not a destination. Oh, I'm going to reach happiness. I'm going to get to happiness. It's not a place. It's a way of living. You are going to feel happy. It's something that happens inside of you. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get to happiness. Happiness is happiness. It's like a state of being, that I think that's very important, because when you reach to that point, doing whatever you're doing, it's amazing. Because, and I'm not saying like live in a state of happiness 24/7, because that's unrealistic. But if you can reach those moments of happiness, even if it's 5 minutes a day, that's it. You are discovering a new way of living. You're realizing that it is possible to live in a way where you feel happy and fulfilled.
Yeah, yeah, that's also something that I repeat to my clients. You have to produce your life, right? You produce
Absolutely.
the life you always wanted to live. So happiness is one of the elements that you want to have in your life. So if this is something that you need in your life, just put it inside your bag and produce it. No one else, no element, no physical element is going to bring you happiness. It's something that you are going to acquire and to develop yourself and to produce yourself. It's something that you do on purpose.
Exactly. And so I invite everybody to create their own happiness formula. Write down the things that you feel that make you happy, whether it is to have a cup of coffee in the morning or to go running in the afternoon or whatever it is. Start creating and developing that happiness formula, because that's the key to live a more fulfilling life, and the key to discover your passion and to, being more in that state of mind that we always want to get to and reach to. So once we start thinking more positively and changing our mindset, and when we start focusing more on the positive side of things, and then we start creating and trying new different things that makes us happy, step number 3 is to take action. Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of dreams, especially when we want to move to another country, and those dreams are just dreams. But how do we make those dreams become goals, and those goals become our new reality? By taking action. And this is really important. You need to take action on a daily basis, on a consistent way. But not just any action. You have to take small, consistent action, no matter how tiny that action is. Because sometimes we think that we need to spend hours and hours, doing things to make things happen. And in reality, if you make your goals small enough to make them more manageable and tangible and realistic and achievable, you will realize that day after day, by doing little things here and there, you will start accomplishing your goals. So it's so important to understand that a dream needs to become a goal in order that goal to become a result. Is by taking action. The connection is between a dream and a goal is action. And this is exactly what I teach my clients, to how to create a master plan of your life, how to create a plan of action in order to make your dreams a reality.
This is super interesting because I can see now how everything is connected to each other. Like, we are talking about unlocking our passion and knowing what our passion and the things that we really love doing are in our lives. And you were telling us about changing the mindset, trying to do other things and be more happy. And now you're telling us to take action. And this is actually one of the workshops that you're doing in a member zone.
Exactly.
And you're explaining step by step how to reach our goals and to be consistent, because I believe there's where we get blocked again.
Yeah.
I believe the first step that you described at the beginning, like changing our mindset, is something very difficult to accept, to start doing and changing it. But once you did it, you know the process. And I believe this one, the last one, like the taking action, is as well difficult, but once that you started doing it, it becomes kind of automatic. So I'm just super happy that everything, this masterclass is connected to the Member Zone workshop that you have there, because it's actually going to give us all the steps that we need to, I don't know, like liberate ourselves of that very big charge of being so responsible that it's overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. It comes full circle. The masterclass that I have on the member zone, it's all about creating this master plan that I was telling you. And I explain in that class step by step how to draft your goals so you can actually get results. And this is important because a lot of people think the bigger the dream, the bigger the results. Yes, that's true. But how are you going to accomplish those big dreams? By breaking down the goals into very tiny little pieces that when you look at your to-do list, you feel like, oh, I can totally get those things done. So for example, if you're moving to a new country, there are so many things that you have to take care of, and that can be super overwhelming. So this is something that I explain in the masterclass, is how to take the necessary steps you need to take in order not to be overwhelmed, in order to get unstuck and to start moving forward, to create those processes that you need to do in order to, you know, get your visa or rent an apartment or find a job, or, you know, whatever it is that you need to do when you're migrating to a new country. So it is important to take the necessary steps. And I wouldn't say it's difficult. I would say that to trust yourself and give yourself the opportunity to go through the process. You don't need to take my word for it. All you need to do is to try it and see if it works for you, or to make it your own. You know, take the steps that I'm telling you, or that works for me or for my clients, and adjust it to your life and make it your own.
Yeah. And another point that I would like to add here is that these steps that you're describing today are not only for those people who are recently migrated to another country. Actually, every step of unlocking our passion can be related to any stage of our migration process. For example, I've been here for 8 years, you've been there for 24 years, etc., etc., and our passions change, our way of living changes, like everything around us change, and it's normal and it's okay for our passions to change as well, and for us to again cross this kind of crisis of not knowing again what our passion is.
Exactly, and that's something that happens again when you feel that you have your life put together, and then boom, all of a sudden you have to start fresh in a new place. But again, the way I would see it is as a new opportunity. Some people might see it as, oh no, it's going to be difficult, hard, what am I thinking? I see it as a new way of a new opportunity to discover so many new things that I didn't know before. So again, it's all about how you approach the things that are happening to you. If you approach them on a negative way or on a positive way, or on a way that, hey, you know what, I could learn so much from this situation. And believe me, not everything is like, you know, rainbows and unicorns. Of course not. I'm not saying that things are beautiful all 24/7, but it is how you deal with the situations. You need to start learning how to understand how to obtain the best outcome in every situation.
It's not the what, it's the how.
Is the how, exactly. And that's what I explained on the masterclass. The 3 pillars of goal setting, and the how and the why are also part of it. So everything is connected. Everything makes sense, you know.
Yeah, you see, that's why I was so happy that we are talking about this, because I thought that it was going to be more about introspective kind of masterclass that we are doing today, but it is actually not that introspective, not that spiritual, but it's actually, moving on and taking action and following steps. And this is not a formula. It's not a magic formula that one day you're going to do click, and then the day after you're going to wake up and your passion is there, and now you're full of energy, and now you want to do many things at the same time, and you finally found what you're here for. It's actually a process that you have to follow, and the steps that you have to follow in order to live a better life. Not a perfect one, because it's impossible to have it a perfect life, but as good as it can be.
Yeah, it's all about living a more fulfilling life. It's doing things that make you feel happy. Again, it's not to get to happiness, to be happy from within. And sometimes, and it happened to me, I'm talking from experience, you have to go through situations where you feel like, this is just not making me happy anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. It used to make me happy 5 years ago. Not anymore. I need something new, something different. And that's when you get your resilience, and when you start making more positive changes. So sometimes challenges, they come to you as a red flag, as in saying, hey, this is not the way anymore for you. You got to take a different route. So when those challenges show up in your life, take them as opportunities. Do not take them as failure or as, oh no, I failed, what am I going to do? Take them as a new opportunity to do something new in your life that will make you feel even better than you were before.
I believe this is a very, very nice piece of advice, because there are a lot of people who are actually staying at their jobs where they are no longer happy, or staying in a country that they are no longer happy at, or in marriage, or I don't know, anything in their life that their career, their exercise in their careers, etc. Every time is a good opportunity to change and to transform yourself and to produce your life into a better experience.
Like, in my case, if you would have told me, Romina, you're going to be a certified business coach 5 years ago, I would have been like, what's a coach? I didn't even know. So to me, it was like I completely changed, not who I am, because I'm the same person, but I was able to, I don't know, apply what I was always was, like the truth of who I am, and the things that I have learned in my past career. I have a business background and human resources background, and I was able to transform and use those tools that I already have within me to, do this, to help others in a different way. I was kind of always helping them when I was working in corporate, but then I realized that I could add a little more to it, and add a little bit more of my personality and who I am to the mix, and become this that I am today. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be a coach for the next 40 years. Maybe I am, hopefully I will be, but maybe I'll become something else in 5 years, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with change, and I'm okay with always trying to find new opportunities in life. It's all about, to me, and if there is something that I have learned from, becoming a coach, is to do things that, and it has to do with this masterclass, is to always do things that make you happy and make you feel fulfilled. This that I'm doing now is making me feel super happy and very fulfilled. The moment I don't feel that anymore, I'm going to make a change.
Yeah, it's a good moment, or just check in with yourself and check why are you not happy, because sometimes it's not the full thing, the full aspect of the situation. It's actually something, a very little thingy there that is no longer corresponding to your life.
Exactly.
So let's say that I followed your steps. Let's say that today I went to bed and I started thinking about my mindset and journaling and checking every day for this week. What are my terrible points of depression where I am being so negative that I cannot bring myself up? Let's say that I just identified them and I started doing this kind of exercises where I say, I deserve this, or I am good enough for this, instead of saying I don't deserve or I am not good enough for that. Then I already tried another thing. I started going, taking dancing lessons or yoga or painting, etc. And even if they make me happy, I feel like I cannot find it. And then let's say that I took action. I came to this masterclass. I listened to you. I did the homework and it's not working. How can I work with you for you to help me figure out all these 3 steps without me feeling so lonely in the process?
Well, again, if you can work with me, awesome. I will help you to, take the necessary step and to help you unlock, because sometimes there are things that they are really deep within us that we with our own self cannot see. So by working with a coach, it's like a mirror. The coach can really listen to what it's not being said, and really listen to what you're saying. Sometimes when we talk, we don't realize what we're saying. We're not really listening to ourselves. So having another person like a coach or like myself can really help you to listen to what you're saying. So if you cannot discover these things on your own, then you can work with me and I can help you discover those things. And once you discover those things, I can help you put together a master plan to get whatever dream you want to achieve in life. Sometimes you are able to unlock it on your own, but sometimes it's good to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help we all ask for help at some point. Me too. Before I hire myself a coach, because I needed to move forward to become a coach. I didn't know where to get started. So again, if you're at a point in your life where you have tried different things and you can't really find the key to unlocking, then maybe you need some support, and it's okay to ask for help and to get support. It's not something that you should look in a negative way. Oh, I didn't do it on my own, I'm a failure, I need to reach out for help. Absolutely the opposite. It's good to reach out for help, because you will learn more things that you cannot discover on your own. And again, I'm not like a guru or anything. I'm just a person like you that has some tools that I have learned through my life and my career that I can share with you and teach you, because I cannot teach you everything right now in this masterclass in an hour, that I can share with you week after week to help you unlocking those things that are still there, or to remove the blocks that are there, not allowing you to move forward.
Yeah. And for example, if you feel like you need more time to decide, or you like sometimes, because let's face it, sometimes reaching out to experts or professionals to help you out, sometimes you have to invest some money that you don't have, or you have to actually take your money and make some financial fixes there. So take it in steps. Start doing it by yourself. Try to figure out how to move on and start taking action, as Romina was saying. And after that, little by little, start connecting and start taking all the resources possible, like read articles, find information, go to Romina's website, where she shares a lot of very good tips about how to move on and how to reach your goals, etc., etc. Or go to WIA and find the articles and feel positive and empowered. Check on the interviews for other immigrants, or subscribe and become a member of the member zone. And you know, these tools in general are good for you to start establishing yourself, not only as an immigrant, but as a person, as yourself, as a more powerful, energetic, well-rounded person.
I mean, there are so many tools and resources out there that you can access, you know, with the internet and everything. Like I have a lot of worksheets that are there for free. Diana has a lot of amazing master classes in the member zone, including mine, that can really help you, you know, unlock all these things that are stuck within yourself. But also when we talk about money and investment, it's important for us to understand that when we invest in ourselves, what we're getting is so much value. So you have to think in terms of value and not just in terms of a monetary. You're not buying a purse or a bottle. You're getting value. And if this value, these tools that somebody is giving you in order to get unstuck and for you to reach your goals, you can't put a number to that. I mean, I'm not saying like pay $1 million, but I'm saying like use the money to invest in yourself to get value that is going to give you so much return on investment if you reach for your goals. You know, how much money you're going to pay if you reach for your dreams. You know? It's like you have to think in terms of value.
Yeah, definitely. It's an effort that you may have to do, but it's going to, in perspective, it's going to bring you more than what you have to pay at the end.
I have made many investments in my life, and I knew it was the right decision at the time when I was making the investments, because I gotten so much out of it. So again, there are so many valuable resources out there that they are free, or they are part of the member zone, where you can just gain so much insight and information, and you can start working on your own.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to know more about Romina, Tomas, check her website. We're going to give you all the details. And inside the member zone, as she already said, she is part of our board of experts. So in case you need a coach to help you out, unlock your passion or reach your goals and reach your dreams, she's there for you, and she's at your reach all the time, because she's inside the member zone. So anytime that you want to message her, she will be there. And let's be part of this network, helping each other. And if you have other questions after this masterclass, please send them to us and let's discuss about them. Thank you so much, Romina, for being again with us for this beautiful chat, sharing your experiences as well, telling us more about how to become better persons inside ourselves as well. I'm going to see you in our meet and greet. So thank you so much, Romina.
Oh, thank you so much, Diana. This was wonderful. And again, if any of you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always there to give you a hand. I'm an immigrant. I know what it takes to become one or to be one. So if you have any fears or anything that you want to remove, reach out to me or to Diana or to the experts in the member zone, because we're all here to support you, okay? So don't be afraid to reach out.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Romina, again for this.
Thank you so much. Ciao.
Ciao.